Welcome to another episode of The Next Big Bet, a podcast series brought to you by Creddinv Technologies. Today, I have Gaurav Khemka, the founder of Polka Pop. It's a sparkling water brand. And I'm really excited to know about this niche sector. So let's start talking to him and getting to know about the sector and the brand from the founder himself. Hi, Gaurav. How are you?
Hi there, you're doing well. How are you doing?
I'm good too. And thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
What made you choose sparkling water uh, when there is a lot of sodas and other kind of beverage drinks in the market? Why sparkling water?
So, just to give you a little background, I been brought up. I come from a multi-generational diabetic family, right? So my granddad was diabetic, my dad is diabetic. I've had my own issues with weight and cholesterol all through school, like intense data, cholesterol, and severe health issues that came as an extension of a bad lifestyle. So when I started taking my health a little seriously, taking my food a little seriously, I saw firsthand the kind of impact that it can have on you, right? And for me, at that point, given the environment that I've been living in and given what was available on the shelf today, everything was filled with sugar, right? Be it carbonated beverages, be it juices, everything. Right? There was nothing healthy for somebody to pick off the shelf and drink, or rather something that is not unhealthy, right? Um, so when I saw that there was an option where you can actually make a nice fizzy, almost soft drink like experience without any of the sugar or the sweeteners. I said, this is great. Let me make something like that for India. I mean, first, honestly, I thought it was already available, but then found out that there was nothing available. It said, okay, fine. Why not make it for India instead? And that's kind of how the whole thing started. So, as much as some of the key things that we did were that we never played the unflavored sparkling water segment, right? We're not competing with the large giants that are selling at 150, 250 rupees. We're not selling with a Kinley soda, for example, which is a mixer. We are kind of playing in that soft drink space, but as a product, and that's why we have our range of natural flavors. But as a product, it is the cleanest option out there, right? So that's kind of the niche within the soft drink space that we're operating in.
Do you think consumer behavior is shaping this sector? Or is it the product innovation? Because I think Polka Pop is more into product innovation than the consumer behavior. We haven't even started talking about the consumer behavior. So, what do you think is playing an important factor here?
I think I would say it's a mix of the two because consumers today want better. They want better products. They want better ingredients. They want cleaner labels. The fact that you have somebody like Food Farmer today who's very relevant and who everybody is looking out to see, what's the next expose he's doing, is talking about how people are really considering what they're putting into their bodies. So I think consumer behavior is already changing. All the all the people today know what's healthy for them and know what's not healthy for them. Like generally, if I ask you whether a cola or a diet cola or a cola zero is healthy for you, more often than not, I hear the answer, yeah, it's probably not for me, right? So I don't think there is much to be done as far as consumer education that's there. I think it's more about awareness that hey, listen, you also have another option that's available. From a product innovation point of view, of course, I think we are very very unique in the sense that we are the only brand in the country that doesn't use, at least in our sparkling waters, any sweeteners of any kind, right? So I think that that's definitely something that gets it is definitely a stop factor when sometimes people try the oh wait, this is actually zero sugar and zero sweeteners. It's not zero sweeteners and then they put like some other natural sweetener, right? So I think the customer shift is already there. The product that we have is very unique, and of course today most people don't know that you can actually make drinks without sweeteners in them. So for us, I think that customer niche is now growing slowly and steadily. I think people who like the brand and like the product are drinking more and more of it, and they're like, oh wait, this is now part of my lifestyle. So it's a much more directed way. You have to enter the market, you have to make a mark, you have to kind of cement your position there, and then grow from there, right? So that's kind of what we're being is.
I would say there are a little more emotions that are not really addressed at the moment. A lot of beverage brands do not really address all kinds of emotional mindsets of these consumers. What do you think, as a sparkling water brand, you are tapping into?
We we not only taste food, we also feel good. I think fundamentally difference between us and every other product on the shelf today is that when you drink anything else, you don't feel very good. You can tell that it's probably not healthy for you. Uh, you drinkers who know that we're not bullshitting about it. I think that's unbelievable athletic. So you also feel good. I mean, that's why I have customers, including myself, that ends up drinking like five bottles, right? And I know I can do that today because there's nothing in the car that's gonna harm.
That's nice. But when it comes to things like the nostalgia, if you see brands like Paperboat and all of them, they stick to that nostalgic emotional connect that they have between the brand and their consumers. When it comes to sparkling water, because I would definitely say there is nothing really nostalgic about it. But how do you go about with your emotional positioning?
No, I think that comes from choice of flavors, right? Today, one of our best-selling flavors is the lemon light flavor, which I think is a very Indian preferred flavor in that sense. But I would also say it's a universally preferred flavor. Everybody picks up a lemon lime sparkling water or lemon lime fizzy drink. Like that is the most common drink that's out there. Flavors such as cranberry have really worked well for us because, again, I think people are used to drinking, say, cranberry in general now over about with the cranberry juices that have come up. So I think the choice of flavors allow you to really play to that emotion of our customers, basically.
How do you think Polka Pop is getting to that 2 second attention, the shelf attention, or even the Instagram swipe or whatever it is? How does that work?
I think the fundamental difference between the Pula Pass would be that they are labeled as sparkling waters, but they're still playing more in the diet soda category versus Polka Pop, where it says that it is a flavored sparkling water or we are a flavored sparkling water. And I think that's the fundamental difference from a product point of view. No, I think for us, we've had a lot of cool people really talk about us. See, I mean, where does this coolness come from? Right? It comes from who's drinking it, how are they drinking it, how are they perceiving the brand, what have you expect. Of course, I think there's still a lot of work to be done. We're also pursuing moving our portfolio to cans in a very distinct way, I think. But I think that even in its current form, because we're not positioned as a health drink, but we're positioned as just a flavored fizzy gel. It is a cool drink. Like I've seen people consume it with food. I've seen people throw multiple house parties with Polka Pop in it, and more often than not, you don't have an uncool drink at your house party. You want to come across as somebody who's really cool with different the house party. So I do believe that there is an inherent coolness that has been built into the brand just because we position not as a health drink but more as a lifestyle drink, and I think that's something that customers are intuitively understanding. So I think that's there. I think the coolest part about our drink is that we don't lie, right? And when we say zero sweetness, we mean zero sweetness, and that's basic. Or rather, we don't. I say lie is a strong term. We don't misdirect the truth, basically. Right? I think that's something that's super, and I think that's why people keep coming back. Yes.
Okay, but still, I would still say it's a little bit wellness focused, right? Even though you're not directly marketing it, like you said, it's a lifestyle drink rather than a wellness drink. But are you looking for like taking your brand in the wellness side? How are you positioning
When you say wellness, what do you give me examples? Then I'll tell you.
healthy drinks?
Sorry,
Healthy drinks that we were talking about, no sugars, no calories.
we are not. So, from a positioning point of view, I'll tell you what's a healthy drink. Kashayam is a healthy drink, right? We are not a kashayam. Uh, we are basically a nice fizzy drink that happens to not have any unhealthy ingredients in it. But it's a very clean drink, right? So that's kind of the fundamental difference between a healthy drink and I would say a clean drink. And I would say we are more than a healthy drink. We're a clean drink, right? We're not something that you should have two times in the morning so that you have like a better carry thought, whatever. We are something that you have because you want to just enjoy a nice drink and not impact her, right? That's kind of where we come. We are not a kashani. If that's what you're asking.
Okay, so if we are talking about kashayam here, I would say that is a medicinal drink rather than a healthy drink, right? There's a difference between that and this. So we are solving something with kashayam, but we are not solving something with our sparkling water.
Solving a very sugary shelf. We are solving a nice, fun option for people to have in a country which has the highest number of diabetics in the world today. We are solving for options for people to not drink kashayam every time but have other options that they can enjoy without paying with their health, right? Like that's what we're solving for. We're trying to, for the person who cares about that, for the person who's looking to make better choices, that everybody cares about that. There's, even if somebody's picking up something fried and consuming, it's not like they don't care about that. In that moment, they just want something that kind of uh, helps with their taste buds that day. Right? Actually, everybody is health conscious, but the idea is that for people who are making that effort, what are the other options available outside? And that's what we're solving for, because we're just helping you make a better decision and give you a better drink to have. Like when we go into new categories as well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep giving you different options. We're going to give you different experiences, but we're going to keep that base of clean label, low calories, uh, good ingredients. That's our base. That's what we stand for.
If I want to consume sparkling water, the first thing that comes to my mind is I'm going to spend more on it rather than getting soda. So how does that work? Like the premium pricing with the product plus consumers being ready to buy it. How does it work?
So we are not competing with Kilo. I mean, we can never compete. When I say Kilo, I mean every soda. All these large companies have their different types of sodas. We're not competing with it. That's a very fundamentally different space. That's an unflavored space. That's a pure mixer play. More often than not, I mean, if 100 people pick up a soda, I would say maybe one or two people drink it from the bottle. Like everybody else mixes it with whatever they're trying to make. I'm not competing with soda. I'm playing in the soft drink space. I'm competing with all your large giants today, or maybe the not so large giants that are playing in sort of the soft drink space as well. That's why I'm competing in. So today, if you can get a can of a diet soda at about 40 rupees, you can get a Polka Pop at 40 rupees. And that's where we stand, right? I'm not too sure how you're going to get a peach or a cranberry or a blueberry based Kinley drink, for example, right? But like that's kind of where we funny.
Because we were speaking about Kinley, I would ask you this question. How does Polka Pop play in tier 2 or 3 cities? Because those cities still know Kinley. I totally understand that that is a big brand and that's why they would know. But because even without telling water, if I say Kinley, tier 2, tier 3 cities would still recognize the brand, right? So, how are you working towards that? Because sparkling water itself has that premiumness attached to it.
Sure. So, I mean, one is, so two things, right? One is through distribution. Today, we're available in a lot of these cities. A lot of these cities are picking us up very, very well. So, places like Jaipur, Guntur, I mean, all of these places are really pick up Polka Pop and consuming a lot of Polka Pop. Goa, right? These are all places where Polka Pop is becoming a lot more popular today. And honestly, we spend 0 rupees on branding. It's just through distribution, right? So for us, I think that's key, right? First, you need to be available for customers to buy, then you can solve for everything else. Second is when you're talking about from a branding point of view, I guess, right? I think the difference between, I mean, that's like 150-year-old brand. We're like a in the old brand, right? Like we just need a little bit time, a little bit of capital, and I think we can do a better job than they like. I think I would say that's the difference, honestly.
That's an interesting take. Like I said, yeah, they are all established brands, but Polka Pop is new. But I think it's also with this Gen Z that is there today, and I would definitely say sparkling water is something that if there's a consumer pull, I would say it's from Gen Z, right? Are you trying to because we also spoke about how diabetic patients are high, and I wouldn't say and I don't wish to say that the younger generation are diabetic at the moment. Usually, it's people who are at least above 35 who are at least identifying themselves with diabetes. So, how are you catering to that kind of consumer base?
No, I think we're catering to them because they have very limited options to it, right? Like what else to the drink? Like everybody wants to still enjoy life, right? Everybody wants to still have a nice time, go out, go out, meet friends. They want to have a nice evening. They want to have something fizzy with their meal. And exactly how we're catering to them is by giving them great options, right? Whether they're the Gen Z customer that's say moving away from alcohol, but they like to meet. But what else do they consume, right? They consume a pop. If you're looking at the slightly more millennial customer, which is in that 35, 40, 45 age range, they're taking health a lot more seriously. They have a family to take care of. They have a lot more disposable income. So for them, it's now important to set an example to their family and they're consuming cleaner options, right? So I think um, exactly what you said is exactly why customers are us up. It's because they care about their health and because they want to sustain that for longer, and that's why they pick up Polka Pop over all the other things that are out.
Thinking of just customer retention and people coming back to Polka Pop, what kind of measures have you taken, and what are you seeing in the industry that is different from what you are doing?
So two things, right? One is as a product today we are a little different, right? So ours is a love it or a hate it product. It's not in BP. A lot of products fall in BP. Like okay, fine, yeah, you know what? It's sweet. I don't mind. Then I'll have it. There's no love it. Like there's a few brands that have that, but a lot of brands are somewhere in BP. So for us, I think between if you look at an overall basis, say if 5 people try it, 2 or 3 people will like it, 4 people may not like it. Like um, so if you look at it from an overall point of view, retention in the customers that like it are extremely high, but there's also customers that sometimes don't like it, and that's fine, right? And that's kind of where we exist. I think a lot of the other incumbents play in a much more generic space, right? So which means that if you're going to add say a caffeine and a sugar and a bunch of other things to your product, the likelihood that you're going to get a right spot is of course higher. So you'll end up having, say, if I have 2 or 3 out of 5 or 6 people, then I'll say 4 out of 5 or 6 people, right? So from that point of view, it's a little differentiate.
And there's something interesting that I noticed with Polka Pop is your subscription that is there online. So how does that work, and how did you come up with that idea? And is it really working? Is what we want to understand, because we usually don't see subscription on D2C, especially beverage brands. So yeah.
See, today for us, D2C is a very small part of our business, right? It's not something we focus on because, I mean, normally people are, expect to buy 24, 48, or maybe 100 bottles in advance and keep them, right? It's a very positive category. The subscription is solely kept to cater to our loyalist customers. We have a lot of customers who today message me or my team on WhatsApp and they're like, listen, I want my 5 cases, 10 cases, please get it sent to me. So we have those very loyal customers who've been consistently buying our product. And so the subscription is honestly for that. And for anybody, like, for example, today you discover the brand of Polka Pop, you really like it. You're probably buying it on Swiggy, Blinkit, Zepto. Problem is at one point you can buy maybe 2 or 3, right? And you don't want to get in the hassle of buying like it every day, right? And that's basically when you come to my website and be like, hey, listen, I have subscription. Can you please help me with that? So I think the use case for that is primarily for the mid customer.
There are a lot of households right now where they actually take a soda on a weekly basis. Like they do need a case of it. They actually stock it up. So yeah, so that is what I was wondering, if that is the idea behind it.
People drink it daily. They drink it more than once a day also sometimes.
I think we'll just wrap up the podcast with this. One last advice that you would want to give any other startup founders trying to tap into the beverage sector, or even an investor for that matter. If an investor wants to invest confidently in beverage sector, what would your advice be?
I mean, if an investor wants to invest confidently, I think they should reach out to us. We are basically the new way in the beverage industry. We're really changing the way uh, the beverage shelf in India is looking today. We're really creating a new age beverage shelf for the able customer. So this form of good in this industry, this is an $8 billion industry in India today. Conscious customer that we to is of course something very valuable. We're looking at massive goods over the next 3 to 5 years. So definitely, if somebody's looking to invest, I think they know what the right choices. But jokes apart, I think if you're looking at it from a founder point of view, I think to really understand why you're getting into this. This is a space that you're really excited and passionate about, because this is a top let's speak. It is a supply chain nightmare. It is a marketing and branding nightmare. You are beating a folk show a lot, more people pockets and what. So be very clear as to what you're doing into the market. Don't become a brand that doesn't have a value system to stand out of, because then it's very hard for you to scale and grow and maybe have meaningful place on the market. So I would say that would be very tough. And if you do that, of course you'll make mistakes, you'll make changes, but I think will be something that will keep guiding you through that journey case. At least help you stay grounded and stay put to whatever you. Yeah, and make sure that you either pick your niche well, uh, or make sure you raise enough capital. That's the.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much for talking with me today.
Thank you.
And thank you for all the advice and the insights
Yeah.
that you've given about the sector.
Great.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'll see you in the next episode of the podcast. Bye.